Hello, you're watching News Mongolia on MNB World, and I'm your host, Ulaanbaatar. On the News Mongolia today, a farewell ceremony was held for former President Ochirbat. International Finance Corporation invests in Ulaanbaatar's pioneering municipal bond to support Mongolia's energy transition. Children are participating in their extracurricular activities during the school holidays. For the news, stay tuned. A state ceremony took place for the funeral of Ochirbat, the first president of the Mongolia, chairman of the Presidium of the People's Great Khural of the People's Republic of Mongolia, and recipient of the Order of Genghis Khan.
As the late president's remains were transferred from the 3rd State Central Hospital to the State Palace, 3 lines of honor guards stood in formation to pay their respects. The remains were placed on the stage of the Grand Hall of the State Palace, where family members, relatives, President of Mongolia Khurelsukh, Speaker of Parliament Amr Vaissalan, Prime Minister Ochirbat, members of Parliament, government officials, and former colleagues paid their tribute. The remains were then escorted by the State Honor Guard Cavalry and Traffic Police motorcycle units to the Altangulgi Honorary Cemetery. In honor of Ponsilmagin Ochirbat, Mongolia's first president, chairman of the Presidium of the People's Great Khural of the Mongolian People's Republic, recipient of the highest state award, the Genghis Khan Order, and a prominent statesman, the Mongolian state has conducted his funeral with the highest honors. Today has been declared a national day of mourning, with the state flag lowered to half-mast in tribute. Additionally, all public institution employees stood in silence for 1 minute at noon in a sign of respect.
The Governor's Office of the capital city of Mongolia has successfully issued its first over-the-counter OTC market bond through a private placement to the International Finance Corporation. The proceeds will fund a new 50-megawatt battery energy storage system in Bagnor district, enhancing Mongolia's power supply reliability and supporting renewable energy integration. This 5-year bond marks the first non-sovereign guaranteed municipal bond to a foreign investor in Mongolia, freeing up valuable public funds and establishing a new asset class for attracting investments in sustainable infrastructure. Once operational, the battery energy storage system will provide uninterrupted electricity for up to 4 hours daily, benefiting 25,000 households. With nearly half of Mongolia's population residing in Ulaanbaatar, the city faces growing energy demands amid challenges like air and soil pollution, traffic congestion, and the need for a reliable power supply. Ulaanbaatar is rapidly expanding, and we must ensure our energy infrastructure keeps pace, noted Nimbatar Khishke, mayor of Ulaanbaatar city and governor of the capital. International Finance Corporation, along with the Canada IFC Blended Climate Finance Program, is funding the project as part of its broader efforts to support Mongolia's energy transition. This includes investments in energy storage, transmission lines, and studies to enhance the country's energy infrastructure. The International Finance Corporation's resident representative, Matthew Lee Bland, emphasized the need for public-private partnerships to meet Mongolia's $10 billion climate and development goals over the next 25 years. The battery energy storage system project features 27 battery blocks, advanced battery technology, a new substation, transmission lines, and upgraded grid infrastructure. The Ulaanbaatar City Development Corporation will manage its operations. During the school holidays, some children make the most of their time by participating in their favorite extracurricular activities and developing new skills. Today, we are highlighting Solmanzaya, a student who will graduate from secondary school this year. During the school break, she is studying in the straw weaving class at the Art Center for Children's Creativity. Today, over 120 children are studying straw collage and straw weaving at the Art Center for Children's Creativity. One of the students in the straw art class is Solmanzaya. Now in her third year of attending this program, she has set a goal to collaborate with two classmates to organize a straw collage exhibition. To achieve this, she spends her weekends creating her artwork. Solmanzaya shared that as this is an important year for her as a graduating student from General Education School, she has carefully planned her schedule to balance her time and ensure she can attend class. I am currently working on a straw collage. One variation of the straw collage is the layered collage. I made one last year when I was in the 11th grade. The process for this type is slightly different from the basic collage, although the preparation of the straw remains the same. It's called a layered collage because the straw pieces are layered on top of each other. This technique highlights details like animal fur and textures exceptionally well, making the artwork look vivid and lifelike. On weekends, I come to the class to create pieces specifically for my upcoming exhibition, focusing on what truly interests me. At the same time, I am also attending English lessons to improve my language skills. Participating in this class has been a significant part of my personal development. I believe it positively impacts my future career, aspirations, and personal growth, helping me move closer to my goals. These artworks were created by students from the straw weaving and collage classes. For a straw collage, the process begins with the drawing the initial design, followed by attaching straw pieces according to the drawing. This art form requires not only precision and attention to detail, but also the ability to maintain focus for extended periods.
In our class, for example, some students chat with each other while weaving, while others quietly work on their weaving, creating their space. The children learning handicrafts are becoming skilled and talented in their craft. Engaging in handicrafts means they are putting in effort and doing meaningful work to some extent. This process motivates them and helps them discover their potential, which is a significant achievement for each child. The children carefully go through multiple steps, including peeling, cleaning, soaking, and ironing the straw, all of which require great attention to detail. This process greatly helps develop their fine motor skills. Additionally, the children also draw, which further enhances their carving and artistic abilities. They learn and gain a variety of skills through these activities.
By participating in the extracurricular clubs that match their interests, children can make the most of their time, build friendships, and enjoy many benefits. At the Art Center for Children's Creativity, around 1,500 to 1,800 children enroll each year in 22 different clubs, including painting, sculpture, carving, and embroidery. The children here, while creating their artwork, focus their attention and, most importantly, manage to develop themselves without spending time staring at phone screens. They set a great example of personal growth. Thank you for staying with us. Here is the currency exchange rates provided by Mongol Bank. Next, our program will turn our attention to foreign news, partnered with international news agencies. The President of the European Commission reiterated Thursday the bloc's commitment to clean energy at a meeting on the sidelines of the World Economic Forum in Davos. It is evident the clean energy transition is happening, and it is there to stay, Ursula von der Leyen noted.
A record 47% of the European Union's electricity now comes from solar and other renewables, a report Thursday said, in yet another sign of the growing gap between the bloc's push for clean energy and the new U.S. administration's pursuit of more fossil fuels. The transition to clean power helped Europe avoid more than $61 billion worth of fossil fuel imports for generating electricity since 2019.
It is evident the clean energy transition is happening and it is there to stay. And this is not only good news for the planet, this is also good news for innovation. It is good news for energy independence because this is homegrown energy, so it creates good jobs at home. It's good for the economic competitiveness, and last but certainly not least, it lowers energy bills, so it's good for households and businesses.
Nuclear growth in bloc, meanwhile, has slowed. Across the European Union, retirements of nuclear plants have outpaced new construction since around the mid-2000s, according to Global Energy Monitor.
In these times of harsh geostrategic competition, predictability, certainty, and reliability matters. I want to be very clear with my message. Europe stays the course. And we stand ready to work with all global actors to accelerate the transition to clean energy.
As President Donald Trump has pulled the United States out of the Paris Agreement, aimed at curbing warming, and is pursuing a drill baby drill energy policy. Europe stays the course, and we stand ready to work with all global actors to accelerate the transition to clean energy, the EU's chief said.
Madam President, thank you so much.
Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince said Thursday the kingdom wants to invest $600 billion in the United States over the next 4 years, comments that came after President Donald Trump earlier put a price tag on returning to the kingdom as his first foreign trip.
Trump's 2017 trip to Saudi Arabia appended a tradition of U.S. presidents first heading to the United Kingdom as their first trip abroad. It also underscored his administration's close ties to the rules of the oil-rich Gulf states, as his eponymous real estate company has pursued deals across the region as well. The comments from Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, reported early Thursday by the state-run Saudi press agency, came in a phone call with Trump. The Crown Prince affirmed the kingdom's intention to broaden its investment and trade with the United States over the next 4 years in the amount of $600 billion and potentially beyond that, the report said. The readout did not elaborate on where those investments and trade could be placed. The U.S. in recent years has increasingly pulled away from relying on Saudi oil exports, which once was the bedrock of their relationship for decades. Saudi sovereign wealth funds have taken large stakes in American businesses while also looking at sports as well. Saudi Arabia does, however, rely predominantly on US-made weapons and defense systems, which could be a part of the investment. The AP's John Gambrell explains what could be behind the offer.
Now, how this investment may play out, it remains unclear, but Saudi Arabia over the last decade or so has really invested more and more into American companies through its sovereign wealth fund. It's also seen one pillar of its U.S. relationship shaken as the U.S. drills more oil and gas. It's not relying that much anymore on Saudi crude oil. So any sort of investment by the kingdom into America, possibly through buying new weaponry, new defense kit, could be a way in order to cement that relationship with Trump, who remains eager for any business deals he can point out to the American people as he starts his new term.
All right, that's all for today. Thank you for staying with us. We'll see you next week with more news and updates. Have a nice weekend. Goodbye.